All right, guys, welcome back. We are doing an emergency recap of Abe's Rumble. A lot of stuff happened down there. I didn't get a chance to go, but I watched from afar. I was updating through track as much as I could. Jim and Buddy, you were both there. Mark Stewart, I think you were paying attention probably like I was. Um,
I was on the hub for like 12 hours straight on Saturday. It was fucking absurd. Oh, sorry.
yeah, yeah. Well, welcome, guys. What's up? How you guys doing tonight?
I'm good, man.
Doing well, doing well. Yep. Good to be home.
So, yeah, I mean, where do you want to kick this thing off? I thought it was, obviously that tournament's always fun to kind of follow. A lot of stuff happened. Vandalia ended up winning in the finals over Marion Central. And yeah, it was a exciting duel. Came down to the last couple matches, and a lot of other stuff happened on the backside and the wrestlebacks. So,
Yeah.
Buddy, Jim, what do you guys think we should start with?
You know, do you want to start team aspect or do we start individual aspect in this? You know, how team matchups went, how the tournament went itself. I mean, there's a lot of, like we talked about too before. There's a lot of good head-to-head matchups too down there. We see a lot of one and versus twos. There's quite a few, ranked opponents wrestling ranked opponents, and of course, the exciting team race on the final four team race was pretty exciting as well.
I know it wasn't an option to start with, but let's start with the nightlife. Let's do that a little bit here. Let's start with the nightlife. And then we'll get into it. Otherwise,
yeah, and you that place, you intermix with everybody at all times because of all the hotels and stuff like that. I do like that environment. I like the fact that you kind of are immersed with the fans and families of all the teams and stuff. So you start us up, Jim.
I guess I'm going to first apologize and I'm just going to say kids' names and I'm going to say their dad. Because I caught so many different names that I'd rather say I don't remember your name than say the wrong name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is too, then some of the guys' names I do remember, I don't want to use their name and not somebody else's. Does that make sense? But hotel lobby, hanging out, ended up meeting some awesome guys from Coal City. Got to talking about how the bracket was played, last year's duels, this and that, just kids in general, just wrestling and 1A culture and everything else. And I remember how to pronounce it, and now I already forgot. But Lynmuth, the way he says it sounds a lot cooler. It's got a little ring to it the way he says it. But Lynmuth, dad, awesome guy. Him and Big Tones, Tennyson's dad, they know each other from back in the day, the kids being the same size. But spent some time with him. He was awesome. Brock Finch's dad, he had an older kid graduate, and he's wrestling now in college somewhere. So the Finch's dad got to hang and talking to him. Awesome guy. Loves wrestling. Coal City guy, like proud to be a part of that program and just not narrow-minded enough to only see that, right? Like he sees other colors than green. Unlike us Geneseo guys, we only see green.
Yeah.
And then
Geneseo,
I'm gonna butcher his last name. Walasek. It'd be Alex Walasek's dad. Big dude. Super cool guy, man. Like just fan of the sport, fan of Coal City. Ended up being a super cool guy. Those were like the three guys that we kind of ended up spending some time with and hanging out and talking, just wrestling. I work with a guy that he lives in Dubuque, Iowa, and he's cousins to one of the coaches there. And I texted him. I said, "Hey, what's your cousin's name?" And he never really got back to me. And then he told me his name was Mark Masters. So eventually I ended up meeting him at the tournament. So we just had like a mutual friend, he's related to him and I used to work with him or still do, I guess, kind of. But so Mark Masters, I guess, has been a part of the Coal City forever. Super nice guy, Everybody we met down there, everybody I talked to everybody's always cool, but like there's something to be said about 1A guys and how passionate they are, but they're cool people, man. They're fun, Sucked some suds with Jackson Carroll's dad. Awesome guy, super cool guy. Met Hunter Easton's dad after Hunter Easton was the 190 state champ. That was kind of a build up, right? Him and Jimmy were going to wrestle each other, and the two state champs going at it, and it went how it went, and then I met his dad and the kid, and awesome people. Like, have plans on training. They, the kids have plans to train together sooner than later. Another awesome guy. Finally met. I've met him a couple times, but I never really talked to him much. The head coach of Marquette, Ottawa, being Josh Noonan's guy, Trent Lyons. He's awesome, super cool guy. Was in bed early, so he dumped Josh Noonan off on us on Friday night. So you got to, if you're going to bed early, man, you're committed, right?
Yeah.
Because some of us don't go to bed at all.
Yeah.
Which I feel is real commitment.
Whatever way you want to look at it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Buddy can obviously attest to this because he's a single A guy. I do know, I've known a lot of single A guys, but yeah, it seems like the single A culture, the single A passion, the single A like camaraderie. Obviously, when it comes down to competition, everybody's trying to win and everybody's trying to compete. So emotions are always around, but it's easy to kind of let them pass after a while and focus on the community aspect. But
for sure,
It's almost like a cult.
yeah,
So
right.
It's like a cult, but it's healthy.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like you say, these small town 1A wrestling, man, you're built around your community. And then you realize when you get up and you get out of everything, everybody's doing the same thing. So that you blend so well with everybody. Like everybody's building off of their community, off of their legacies, or off of their clubs and everything. So it is the same aspect. It's you look at somebody like, hey, they're the same person I am. We're building out this 1A club. We got a small town teams. We're out here. We're competing. We're meeting people. We're training. It's everything's the same. Really. So you just blend well with people, and then at the end of the day, you shoot the shit, you talk, and realize we're all human and have a good time.
No doubt. I met Colton Drinkwine's dad, Jake Drinkwine. He's super cool guy. Like,
And will he be at 106? That is the question.
He did wrestle 106.
Oh, he did.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me flip back to my other page. But he did wrestle 106. Yeah, he went 9-0. He wrestled 106.
All right, so we can put him in. He showed up. All right.
Yep. And I got to talking to you guys are probably gonna know him just through like wrestling and being around the game a lot longer than I ever have been. Drew Hopkins, Murfreesboro coach. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or not. Super cool guy. Like,
no.
I don't remember which one that is. I know the Murfreesboro guy is a little bit, but not remember which one he is. But yeah. Yep.
Got to talking to him, and they have a super tough 113 that we haven't talked about. But cool guy, man. Just a cool guy.
Yeah. Well, what we should start. I think we should start with the individual matchups. Anything that stuck out as far as head to head, big matches. Obviously, one match that you touch base already. Jimmy Masney wrestled Hunter Easton. So obviously a potential state finals match in the pool it was in the pool round, right?
No, second day.
That was semifinal match as far as the team aspect in the gold bracket. Okay.
Jimmy, Jimmy stood out. Jimmy is a phenomenal wrestler, and he showed that he's separating himself from the pack. So that was off the top of my head. That was one of the first ones. Obviously, in the finals, Braden Tennyson versus
the younger Waddle.
Preston Waddle.
Yep.
That was another good match. I think another potential state finals 1 versus 2.
Let me tell who am I the only one? Buddy, you saw the match, did you not?
No, we left it. We left.
Okay, Jim.
I looked at the bout score, how everything went down. I didn't get a chance to actually watch the match. So
all right. Well, I wrote down with Big Tone, and I came home with Big Tone, and it was, what was the final score? 8-3.
Yep.
All right. So Big Tone seemed to think there was a closer match than the score shows, and I totally disagree with him. Braden got a reversal, put Preston to his back, and got a 2 reversal, 2 count. But they were there a while, and I was surprised it wasn't a 4 count. And I kind of told Big Tone this last night. I'm like, hey man, I said, if the emotions are running high, referees are human, big stage, that's a state finals match. I wouldn't be surprised if the ref slaps the mat. I really wouldn't. I mean, it would have been, would some people say, am I being a homer? I mean, no, because it's, I'm trying not to be at least. But, I mean, he was on his back long enough for Preston just to literally bench press Braden right off of him. And, like, shows his strength. Is, was there any doubt of him being a small at 20 or maybe not filling in at 20? Well, he bench pressed Braden Tennyson right off him like he wasn't there. So there is no doubt in that. But if you're bench pressing somebody off you, your back's also flat on the mat as well. So I'm not. It was an awesome match, but
Preston Waddle and Braden Tennyson. This isn't a knock on anybody else in Class A. If you've got a horse in the race, I apologize. But you're talking about a top kid in the country overall in Tennyson. And with Preston Waddle, you're talking about a top 100 kid in the sophomore class. That's how Rockton views him. I view him in the same light. They are head and shoulders better than everybody else at that weight class right now. It's not a knock on anybody. It's not even close. But what I will say is this. I was not there. But I've heard from a couple people that basically what Jim said, that Waddle just flat out bench press Braden off him. At a 2 count, when you put your shoulder blades down and try to bench press a kid, you're pinned. That being said, though, it was a 1-0 match.
Well, here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to take away. I don't want to say that and then like try and manipulate the dual score. Miriam lost to Vandalia. Like, so that's not it. I'm just talking about the score with the match.
Get that.
Hell with the dual team score. I mean,
yeah, we'll come back to the dual stuff for sure. I just even
so that match was still 1-0.
We can't hear you over the snow penguins, Mark.
Yeah, it's like they're out there.
There you go.
You can't hear me?
Now we can. They were absorbing all the sound.
I just thought I'd bring 3 friends on with me today. I brought the bird.
You do. You have Dalton, Buddy, and I.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
we're the 3 friends.
No matter what transpired in the final 45 seconds, which was basically 10 out of the 11 points scored in the match, for 5 minutes and 15 seconds, that match is 1-0.
I was watching at home, and
a lot of respect between the two of them. If that's what you want to call it, a lot of respect, a lot of gun shyness. You know what I mean? Which you got 2 of the top kids in the state, country, right? Yeah, I mean, what do you want to do? Go out there and start throwing headlocks? I mean, it was high level wrestling.
Well, don't ask anybody don't ask Christian Piles, because he'll say that everybody should just nonstop shoot and take shitty shots. And yeah, I agree. When they're 2 good guys, they're going to be a little tight at first. So.
Yeah, it was a great wrestling match. I mean, like I say, no disservice to Preston Waddle whatsoever.
Well, so another match though, right before that match, you got Philpott versus Hagavold, and that was a close one. That was another match that was the same thing, going down to the end, and then I think Philpott got another takedown to go 8-5. 8-5, yeah.
And that was one of those. I think when we talked about it, like off camera, or just everybody knows Augie and everybody. I think Philpott just. From watching him last year, we figured that was going to be a 6-point swing one way or the other. Somebody's getting pinned. But I think both of them kids are not as wild as they used to be, maybe. They're not as,
Yeah.
So.
And I watched Philpott on the way down there, his finals match, and then the Swanson match in the semis. And we say it'd be a 6-point match. He hit a lot of those, the front headlock kind of elevator from their feet. And that's why he got Swanson on his back. He missed him twice, but he ended up getting it the 3rd time. That's why he got Swanson on the back to end up winning that match. And he tried it against the Bush kid in the finals, I believe, and missed. So that, just the type of wrestler maybe he is, or maybe he's coming off that or saving that. I don't know. But obviously that's, maybe his kind of a go-to thing as well.
Yeah, no, Augie's a big. Augie wrestled 120. I think he only wrestles 113 once.
And that was the match, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he didn't look like he didn't belong at 120.
Augie's not small at 120 either.
No.
No.
So I mean, imagine how good Max Philpott is at 113,
Correct.
right?
I
I
think
mean,
Philpott and Augie are the two best 113 pounders in Class A in the state.
I think so, but now
Well,
Cohen Sweely.
According to our rankings, they
Yeah.
are.
Hey,
Well, let me rattle off some 106 stuff, bitch, because if I don't, it wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
Right. Colton Drinkwine goes 9-0, including four. I'm not, whatever. He had a couple forfeits,
Let me write that
but he
down.
goes 9-0. Kale Wright. Remember we
Yep.
talked about him,
Kale Wright.
Morrison kid?
Yep.
He
We talked
wrestled-
about might not be
Yep.
at 106. He's at
He-
6.
He wrestled 6 and 13. He pins Aiden Evans.
Correct.
So that's something we'll like. If we get into that now, we'll never get past 106 because I'm here.
yeah.
But we're into that. Landon Near, my guy, right? There's no secret. He goes 8-0. He wrestles 13 a bunch. He majors Flores at 106. They did wrestle at 106. He majors Flores at 106.
16-5. Yep.
Steve 7-0. He pins Panrail out of Stillman. And then another one of the guys I'm always talking about is Gaither. Remember Brandon Gaither? I was bringing him up last time. He goes 6-0. So 106 1A it's a snake pit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now, so Drinkwine beat Evans?
Not there, but yes.
No. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll have to touch base. I'll have to write that down and make sure I add that to it because he was obviously somebody
our
we're
number one
questioning
guy,
now.
Raiden Terry, does take a loss.
This weekend.
He does, but it was at 113.
Was it 13 or?
It was Cohen Sweely over Raiden Terry, but it was at 13.
Oh yeah, it was 7-4. Yep.
So that doesn't change anything. It's just
especially because Terry beat Near just last week, and if Near beat everybody at 6, I mean, it's hard to take them anywhere else.
Yeah, some 113 stuff. Max Philpott 9-0 with the win over, big win over Augie, or at least the way we see it, the big win, right?
Mm-hmm.
This
Paxton,
Paxton Pyatt, we have never talked about him. He's a Murfreesboro kid. He goes 9-0, and I know Murfreesboro didn't necessarily see a bunch of ranked kids at that weight, but he had a win over Josiah Perez, who is a legit 113 pounder out of Oregon.
Mm-hmm. Freshman being a junior.
Yeah. Cohen Sweely 8-0 with that huge win over Terry, even though it's at 13, it's a win. Charlie Flores goes 8-1. He loses to Landon Near at 106 because Near majored him.
Yeah.
Augie goes 7-1. I think he only wrestled one match at 120, and his one loss is to Philpott. So I think our 113 ranking, we're gonna have to figure out who Paxton Pyatt is, but I think our 113 rankings are pretty solid.
Yeah. Well, I think, obviously what you said about 6, besides adding Drinkwine, they're pretty solid as well.
Yeah.
Everything is
add
looking good.
Right, and then we got to bring Wright into the talk too. Honestly,
yeah.
He pins the Van Daly kid. He's a committed wrestler year round. He's got, as a freshman, I think he's a runner up in IESA. He's got 50 or 4, something like that. But again, he's gonna battle. So, is he in the top 6 right now? Maybe not our top 6, but I think he's definitely in the conversation as far as making state and getting possibly good draws down there. So,
yeah. No, I think once we knew Dalton. Once we knew he was going to make 6, after now that we know he makes 6, he's a game rooster, right? We weren't sure where he's, without a doubt.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah. So I guess we could just move down. 32. We didn't get to see Green versus Wainwright. Unfortunately, did we see any other big matchups at 132?
No, not at. Well, yes, I'm sure.
Yeah, but, none of the top ones that we were thinking about.
No.
Well, what about we brought? Hang on, did we skip 20? Is it 26? the Oakwood kid is at 20.
Yeah,
Which one?
he's the one that had Schwartz.
Schwartz.
Yeah, Mason Schwartz.
Mason
Stewie's
Schwartz. Yep, had a 4-0 match with Tennyson, and he had another big win. I don't remember what it was against. Hang on a second here.
They wrestled Oregon, so he would have wrestled Oregon's 20. I don't know if it would have been. They bumped Isaiah?
Yeah. Well, Isaiah's at 20.
Okay. Did he wrestle Isaiah, or did they put Isaiah 26 for that one? He teched the Oregon kid, and I
think it was Isaiah.
Okay.
Where did he go? I just had him up here.
Jim, did I hear correctly? Did you get a Murfreesboro tattoo down at the Rumble?
Red Devils.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I thought I heard that. Big Tone told me that you got a Red Devil tattoo on your calf.
Yeah.
You put it into like a Grateful Dead type of logo.
That would be funny to see you get tattoos of all these other teams' mascots.
I think tattoos are the worst idea in the world. I'm the most anti-tattoo person you'll ever meet.
You got tattoos.
I know, but I also have. I don't wear a seatbelt, but I want everybody else to. You know what I mean? I don't wear safety goggles. I want everybody else to. I believe in, I'm really not a good example. I was bullshitting Mark when I told you I was a good example.
Yeah.
So at 26, Waddle does go undefeated at 26, but he didn't see anybody per se. Does that make sense?
Was Dauber down there?
He was at 32. Dauber lost to somebody at 32. We'll talk about that.
Oakwood didn't wrestle. Oregon. Olympia did.
Olympia.
Schwartz had a 4-0. Oh, Schwartz beat Mauser 4-1.
Eimer beat Perez.
That's what it was. Eimer
bumped up and beat Tech Fall Josiah, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's what it was.
No, Isaiah.
Isaiah Perez, yes.
It was at 120, I know that.
Mason Schwartz beat Brady Mauser of Leroy 4-1. And that's a freshman senior matchup.
Okay, so Schwartz beat Mauser this weekend.
Yes. At 120.
Yeah. So some 126 results. Like I said, Waddle goes 9-0. As far as team goes, I don't see any like wins that would be shocking, right? I'm looking at we're at 26, are we not?
Yep.
Yep.
So okay, Waddle goes undefeated. Waddle beat I think we put Zane Muchaki, freshman, out there. And Tyson Waddle does what he does.
Tyson Waddle, it's the same thing. Tyson Waddle at 26, right now, there isn't a single kid in the state who can challenge him in 1A unless they catch him. He's just heads and shoulders better than him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a knock. I hate when I say that. I don't mean to offend anybody, but sometimes you got to be really honest, and the facts are like, yes, he got beat in the state finals last year. He's a 2-time champ, and he most likely won't see anybody in 1A unless he bumps up for a match.
Mark Stewart.
Somebody bumps up and wrestles him.
Mark Stewart. Gavin Eckberg's going to take it to him.
Okay.
I didn't do it as elegantly as you.
Yeah, listen, you got to go on your Brandon Green saga. Eckberg's a good wrestler. I just don't see anybody coming close to touching Tyson Waddle his senior year after being upset in the state finals. In his opinion, in his gut, that kid feels like he was upset. He was winning a match. Braden.
What about this Dauber though? I mean, this is a big talk about.
He's a stud. But let me run through 26 real fast. And like I say, when kid might have gone 9-0, but because of the team they're on, they may not have saw somebody that we're gonna get into. Jaden Sanchez, Reed Custer, 9-0. Zyler Hansen, remember him? Brody Ivy was talking about him. There's
Yep.
26
Yep.
Newman. He goes 9-0. Now
He's looking-
I know Newman had a bad tournament because half their team is out sick. They even brought kids down there thinking, damn, we hope they feel better.
Yeah.
And they weren't. So
Yep.
Newman had a bad Ames rumble because of lack of number, like, sickness is running through the room, and the kids were even the kids that were wrestling weren't probably 100%. So
Yeah, that's the nature of wrestling. One kid gets sick and they're
Yeah.
wrestling.
And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's not going to be exclusive or unique to Newman, but because I like them guys, I'll just, say, hey, they were sick. They're better than they showed.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Aiden Bell, Hoopston, 9-0 kid. Caden Roberts of Warrensburg, 8-0. Logan Roberts, Warrensburg, 7-0. Preston LeBay, Oregon kid, goes 7-0. And they did have a couple because they wrestled Murfreesboro, who is
Yep.
they beat Olympia and Murfreesboro, which is, I don't know. Did they beat them last year? I don't think so.
Yeah.
The Oregon guys have something. The Oregon guys are. What do you guys know about collecting semen? Like, if you got a real good dog, you get them collected, and then you maybe 20 years later you put that semen back in that bloodline. Anything?
Is this like Walt Disney?
I mean,
stuff or
I don't know if
something?
you let
This is like breeding.
Yeah.
Is that where Jim's going? But
The Oregon has that old Benish blood back in.
where I was
the
going,
room.
I was waiting for
Yeah.
it. What we're saying is they took Jeremy and Jason's semen,
Well,
they put it in some cooler, they froze it. Now they've
Mhm.
re-administered it into the Oregon water.
So you're saying the culture of the Oregon program is coming back to the late 90s, early 2000s.
yes.
Yeah.
100%, man. The Oregon kids, I think, and I don't know enough wrestling history to be like Oregon fell off. I won't say that.
Well, they had guys that went to. I mean, Tony. I think his name's Tony Pedroza. He went to Illinois. Like, he was, pretty good kid. Like, they had some kids that were really good. So,
Pedrosa's like he only went to Oregon for 2 years.
but 2 years. I mean, isn't it 2 years?
From Round Lake, he lives in he grew up the top for me.
Well, he did the opposite. He wanted to go to the woods. Either way, I'm just saying they had good guys, and they've had good athletes come through there. So that was
I think
They're
Oregon's on the rise. How about that? Like, they got the good old tough farm dog blood is back in the room, and these kids have probably been around these guys more. You know what I mean? So
They got that Jason Benish dog in them.
Yeah, like, they're coming up. These are the same kids that he was with through the IK program and this and that. And don't forget, man, Jeremy beat Tyrone Woodley. Let's never forget that. Let's bring that up. Jeremy Benish beats Tyrone Woodley.
Are we doing like dream match scenarios here?
No, this is real stuff, right?
But hey,
This is real talk.
Hey, if Jason didn't get his senior year taken from him, would he have beat Jordan Blanton his freshman year?
Jason is a senior, Jordan is a freshman, right?
Jordan won the state title that year at his weight.
Oof.
I don't know.
That's a tough call.
Yeah. That's a lose-lose answer for me, right?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, that's why I did it.
I don't know. I don't know his background enough to bring that kind of conversation, but I mean, you just remember that's Jordan Blanton.
Yeah, Jordan was a stud right away in high school. I think I definitely know that his stud meter went way up after his sophomore season, but he was a stud right away.
Hold on. Is everybody leaving, Pen?
Hey, did I just make things really awkward in here for Big Jim?
No, I just.
Well, again, it's in the past, so we'll never know. But yes, I think Oregon's team and the program is definitely in a state that is positive. Obviously, we've seen a lot of kids have success, and we've seen a lot of good stuff. So
Yeah, no, they have a lot of.
Just to add to that, man, it's just like saying your dog is what he's grown up around. If those kids are being around the Benishes, all that, the kids are in the school. There's another one's an 8th grader. If they're around them guys, they're around that tenacity, they're around that, hard wrestling, and being a little dick, whatever you got to be. That's the culture they're around. That's the culture they're going to be kind of becoming.
Yep.
So that's just kind of what I think Jim's kind of getting at too there.
Dalton.
It's just, they're bringing that around. So,
Hey, you better make a reel of this so we can give some love to the Benish boys.
Yeah.
A hypothetical matchup.
Yeah.
And everything the Benish.
I don't know if that's love. I think that'll create some anti-love.
Yeah, Jason will be here in 3 minutes.
Yeah, he'll have his shoes on, ready to go.
Yeah.
Jason still wants to beat me up. And
Get him on the phone. Get him on the
I'm
phone.
not doing it. That I'll lose, but I still like to poke the bear once in a while,
Yeah. But all right, back to 26. Dylan Eimer, Olympia kid, goes 7-0. So that's the one with the tech fall over Isaiah Perez, which is Isaiah Perez is a legit 120 kid. I know he's a freshman, but I mean he's still.
Again, Eimer is okay. Hold on.
Eimer's a stud. Because we have him.
he's in the top rankings. Yeah.
You got Dylan Eimer at 113.
Correct.
He wrestled 20 and 26 this weekend.
Wow.
So a lot of these guys that were cut down to 13 were weighing in at 20. A lot of the guys that, the Seneca kid, he went in at 13. I don't know if they're just not ready for that 2-day weighing in or team aspect. This is a team tournament. If they're just doing it for them reasons as well. We didn't see Junior Green down at 32. He was weighing in at 38. Just kind of that aspect of things.
Got it.
Tennyson goes 7-0. The win we've already kind of talked about over Waddle. Good win for I don't know, maybe an expected win, maybe a good win, nonetheless a win right over a state champ. Our guy Marchese wrestled 26 and 32. Marchese goes undefeated. I can't stop there because Cooper Morris, Coal City kid, goes 8-1. His one loss is the Tyson Waddle.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to lose to somebody, that's probably the one to lose to. And then Mason Schwartz, that's the one that Tennyson had a fairly close match with, and that would have been, it was a 4-0 match. Braden Tennyson over Mason Schwartz 4-0. Now, that wasn't, no excuses. I mean, like, Braden didn't have the best match in the world, but Schwartz didn't let him have the best match.
Yeah,
I watched that match, and I remember Coach Prater even saying, "Man, hey, you're in a wrestling match right now. Like this kid's bringing it. Like, you can't take him lightly right now. Like this is and there's a lot of scrambles on their feet. The kid did a good job. Kept his hands on him. He was in on some shots. Tennyson in some shots. They were good defending. It was a good match. It really was. End of the the score. It was a flat out good wrestling match. So, and there was chances for it to break open a little more or close the gap even more. Honestly, so that's like I say, Mason Schwartz. He's a real deal. Freshman at 120.
Chambliss guy, right? Oakwood. And then Barrett, remember we brought up Barrett Speck last podcast?
Yeah.
He goes 6-1. His one loss is to Preston Waddle. So
and that's 120 Barrett Speck.
That was 126.
Yep, that was.
Oh, he's 126. Okay.
But he'll be at.
He wrestled Preston at 20. He just bumped up to 26 a bunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was. That's a good tournament for him. I mean, Barrett's a stud. I don't know how. Like I say, I don't know how we ever missed him.
Yeah.
Not that we missed him, we just forgot him. How about that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Anything at 32? Let's get through these matchups so we can talk a little bit about the team.
Tyler Hutchell out of Oakwood goes 9-0. Nelson Benish out of Oregon goes 9-0. Dean Wainwright, your Titleist buddy, goes 9-0.
Titleist. That's a good
Nick
reference.
He's a tailor-made man. Let's be real.
Caden Roberts out of Warrensburg goes 8-0. Preston LeBay 7-0. He's bumping between 26 and 32. Marchese 26-32. He goes undefeated. 32 gets a little okay. Here we better talk about Dauber, right? So Dauber wrestled 32 and 38, and Dauber was pinned by Leighton Cobean out of Roxana
At 38 or 32?
at 32. So Dauber goes 8-1. He lost to the kid that did wrestle 32 for Roxana.
Okay.
Leighton Cobean.
Got it.
Who is that,
Okay.
Mark? You're the Roxana connection.
The 32 pounder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's tough.
We know it's green, so this kid's probably the 26 pounder.
That's a good question. He's gonna go down or up, honestly.
I think Roxana had such a. I think they have a handful of guys that are really good, and I think they're just kind of filling the roster. If that, I can say that without it being like sounding bad. So I don't know that any of the kids really cut the weight because who are they going to see? Right? They knew they were going to probably lose. You know, they end up in where'd they end up? But
team wise, I think they ended up getting like
11th
or 12th. Yep, 11th.
So silver pool or bronze?
No,
pool?
that was backside of the gold. So
okay. Oh, well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they knew like not to maybe kill yourself for this tournament, cutting the weight, make it wait 2 days.
I mean, 11th.
Well, let's give our Roxana insider a second to talk about that.
Well, first of all, I'll say that 11th out of 60, like you think 11th and you're like, oh, bad. But it's 60 teams there. You finish 11th. It isn't that bad.
Correct.
I mean, you're better than 49 other teams there. 48.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was looking. I thought they were missing some people. But you may be right, Jim. I think what really is what's going to hold Roxana back this year, and this isn't a knock on those guys, because, I love that team. I like that program, the way they wrestle. I really like the way that program wrestles. They're very hard-nosed, kind of like you're talking about, kind of what you're seeing at Oregon right now.
Yeah.
That's fit Roxana, and it's been getting better. And they've got like 5, 6 kids I think are really, really, really tough kids. And I do think they're filling the lineup with some younger kids. And so against like your upper echelon programs, they probably lose some competitive duels based on
they're a tournament team, not a dual team right now.
Yeah, right now I think they're a tournament team because they've got their hitters. They've got green thighs. I don't know if that's how you say it.
No, I talked to him. I pulled him aside. I said, "Listen, we talk about you enough. I want to hear how to say it. Tias.
Thank you.
Okay.
They're 90-pounder.
Uh-oh, buddy.
What happened?
Not sure.
We'll find out. So Tias, that's good to know.
But yeah, I think they're missing a few guys possibly. And then but more importantly, I think their bigger issue is I think they just are kind of.
Buddy, we thought we lost you.
No, I didn't have time to prep, so my fucking tablet's gonna die.
Oh, okay.
We're good though. I think maybe. We'll make it work.
Let me get back to just some 32 kids because he's a Newman kid, so we got to talk about him. Landon Blanton goes 8-1. He loses one match to Zach Bryant from Petersburg.
Zach Bryant?
Yeah, the singer.
Petersburg Porta. He got majored by him. So if you're majored in Landon Blanton, you're a stud.
Yeah, we when we talked about the rankings, we brought him up, and you said he should be in the rankings just because of his name, but there was another reason as to why he was up there. But all right, that's another thing to consider. So
Bryant country singer fan though, as far as I know.
What's that?
Jim doesn't like Zach Bryant's music though.
Jim's a connoisseur of all music, I think.
I am.
Oh, my bad. I misjudged.
Did you guys get your Spotify most played list? Like where they give you your the insight what you listen to the most over the year?
Yeah, I did get it sent to me. I didn't look at it though.
Why not? You're not interested?
No, I'm not.
Really?
Mine showed my lack of class.
Yeah.
And, let's just say there's like
Marx's Confederate Railroad. I like my women a little on the trashy side. On repeat.
No, like Machine Gun Kelly, like old Machine Gun Kelly rap music, like
Like Ohio. I'm from Ohio, Machine Gun Kelly.
CLE till I die, like T Grizzly, and and then like Zach Bryant, and
Yeah.
it was all over the place.
Yeah, I'm all over the place too. Sometimes I go in the gym and I put on country, and sometimes I put on Slightly Stupid and Revolution. So I don't really know.
I'm a Slayer, Rain and Blood guy, and that's
I love Slayer.
yeah. Buddy and
Hair Nation, baby, all day.
Brody Matthews, Vandalia kid. He goes 7-1. His only loss is our guy Nick Marchese. Marchese's a stud at what weight did they wrestle? The Nick bumped up to 32.
Yeah, Nick bumped up to 32 all but one duel, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Nick had a good tournament, man. Nick was a team player, right? Like, hey, man, you're getting bumped. Hey, you made his weight. You're a big 26-pounder. You're getting bumped again. Hey, Nick, you're a team player. You made his weight. You're getting bumped again.
Yeah. Well, I think in this type of tournament, you just have. I mean, every kid on the team has to be aware that that's possible, because otherwise, what are you coming to this tournament for?
Yeah, no, and there's a difference between 26 and 32. There's a difference in size, I guess. But I watched the 190 kid wrestle not even a real size 190, wrestle 215 a lot, and I was like, dang. Like that's a big ass kid.
Jimmy weighed in at like 76.1 and sorry to any of you 215 pounders out there that thought you were really good. You got beat up by a kid who was giving up 29 pounds.
Yeah, well.
So 138. Nelson Benish, because he bumped around between 30.
Hold on. Can we talk about one thing that did happen at the Rumble that is hilarious? So Jimmy's wrestling a kid, I forget his name, and is in the first duel, and it ends 0-0 in the first period.
Oh, God.
Really?
I wasn't there for this.
0-0 first period.
Yeah, so he says, I thought you were ranked number 4 in the country. So then Jimmy proceeds to tech fall him 16-0 in the second period. So he puts up 16 points in the second period. And then stands up and says, that's why I'm ranked number 4 in the country. And then the ref has the audacity to hit him with a misconduct for it. But he's okay with the kid saying it to him at the end of the first period. I don't know.
I heard about it. I missed that one because I was still helping.
One time I made that same mistake. I said, Jimmy, I thought you were tougher. And then, and then I just proceeded to eat my words. Sometimes this sport is great for that. You learn to eat your words, but yeah, it happens. We've all been there. Personally, I've probably been there before. I probably talked a big game again with Jimmy, probably. Interesting stuff. So where are we at now, Jim? I know. I got one of those matches that we're getting to, but go ahead.
38. So Nelson Benish jumping between 32 and 38 goes undefeated. Jeremy Eggleston, Reed Custer, 9-0, all at 38. Okay. Dean Wainwright between 38 and 32. Brody will say it for me, Marco, if I butcher it. Brody Wildowski, Coal City 8-0.
Wildowski.
Wildowski. Okay. I saw his older brother down there.
Yo.
Yes. I talked to him a little bit. Dude, that guy looks like he should be on a Snap-on calendar or something. Like, this dude is jacked.
Wait a minute, Jim. Calendars were girls.
Well, like for the other side, like this guy is a monster.
Yeah, I'm sure Snap-on is an equal opportunity company now.
Mako calendar, whatever. Okay. This guy is like
he was jacked last year.
Yeah, he was pretty strong last year.
He looks like a superhero.
Yeah, he does.
And super nice kid. Talked to him a little bit. He's wrestling in college, just loves it, having a great time.
Do you know where? Where's he at?
I couldn't hear him, and I said, "Where are you at?" And he told me again, and I still couldn't hear because I didn't want to do that again. I can't hear out of my left ear at all. So when I didn't want to be that guy.
Is his dad one of the coaches?
Yeah,
his dad is one of the coaches.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's an old Providence Catholic guy.
Yep.
Okay.
But he's so what's his brother's name? Brady?
I can look it up.
He was a 57 pounder last year, or a 50 pounder last year, and he looks good, man. The kid is whatever he's doing. He's eating a lot of protein and he's lifting weights, man. The kid's
Grant. Is he at McHenry?
How about yes? That
He
does sound right.
It is him. Grant. They got him on the roster at 149.
No way.
He's not cutting weight right now. He's redshirting.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
they put him.
He's going to be a problem.
He's 175 right now. You think?
Yeah. I don't know, but he's a thick kid. Super nice too, man. Super polite. Just great kid.
Great.
Well, cool. Was his brother went? You said his brother went undefeated.
Yep. He bumped up to 44 at least once. So Brody Wodowski goes undefeated. Brandon Green. I don't know. Do we ever talk about him?
Yeah.
Not much today.
He goes 7-0, and he wrestled all at 38. Jude Finch.
Tech Falls Alvarado.
Wow, ran him over. And here's the deal. I'll throw this out there. Alvarado had 103 some odd temperature. They got it down to 102 by ice bagging him in the room. Alvarado was sick, but Jude Finch teched him in the first period.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, you know what I mean? I don't know if that says, hey,
Well,
Alvo, you're not at the right weight class, or.
Well, one thing it does say is Jude Finch wanted to put some points up you don't tech somebody in the first period unless you're trying really hard to do it. So
Jude Finch, turning state champ though. He beat Van Williams in the finals last year.
Yeah, very good.
Jude Finch.
If Jude Finch sees a weakness, he's attacking it too. So if he knows you're weaker, he's gonna even bring it harder.
I got a call from a buddy who's a head coach, college coach, and he was down there, and he really liked. There was two wrestlers that really stood out to him in the middleweights, and it was Jackson Carroll and Finch in the middleweights down there. So I mean, he said he looks college ready, right now.
Mm-hmm.
The way he hand fights, his style, his pace, everything he does is, I'm ready for college wrestling. Him and Jackson Carroll.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised. I know Jim was getting the phone out to try to get the matchup, and it was over with.
I called Dalton. I said, "Hey, listen, man, number 1 versus number 2 right now. Send me an email, and we'll go live. And it'll be cool." And by the time I got email and did this and did that, the match was over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying I'm a fast emailer, just it was over in less than 2 minutes. How long are periods? I don't even know how long periods are. 2 minutes or 3?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, you did say Alvarado is certified for 32, right? So
yes, and I think I don't know, man. Here's the deal. Well, I'll let Mark handle this one because I won't be this guy. Mark will be this guy. What do? Do you jump into the polar bear pit at the zoo, or do you jump into the grizzly bear zoo? We'll cut Brandon Green's the polar bear.
You're really not.
Bear. What do you do?
Yeah, you're not going to gain much.
Yeah, every weight class is going to be tough. Jude Finch might be.
But I'll say, Jude Finch is a much tougher kid to listen. I love Brandon Green, and I think Dean Wainwright's a hammer. Honestly, Alvarado in February is a bad dude.
See, that's yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. He last year
I'll be right back. Don't get me out of here. I'll be right back.
Alvarado's probably in the state finals if Vance didn't go 32. Said he went 38 and was very undersized. So when he's the same size as you and you can't really muscle up on him, he's not afraid to go big. And that makes him very dangerous.
Yeah.
And Dean Wainwright's willing to go big too. He'll wrestle everywhere.
Yeah.
And so is Brandon Green. So yes, but if I was saying I want to win a state title, do I go after Finch or do I have to go after Green and Wainwright? Personally, me, if I'm Andrew, I'm going after Green and Wainwright.
Yeah, well, yeah, what you said is for sure. I mean, Alvarado is dangerous with anybody he wrestles. It seems he seems very skilled at taking anyone to their back. But yeah, I mean, time will tell. I guess see what he.
And the
what
other thing
decision
is
he
like
makes.
34.
That makes that sectional even crazier, though. Like,
Yeah. 4 to 38 is only 4 pounds. Like you've already certified at 32. You made 38 numerous times. You're only losing 4 pounds with 38, 34.
We're back on.
I mean, I don't know. You know, I also say a lot of times like cutting the extra weight isn't always worth it. So maybe you go 38.
I'm just jumping in here, but the whole weight cutting thing, man, I gotta.
One thing I would say though, like if state duels time, I'd probably make, if I was Marion, I would probably have Andrews make 32 for state duels.
yeah, I mean, it would definitely make the team better to have him being able to jump up and down on that.
But we got our 32 pounder Zane Muchaki. He's gonna be good. Like he's new, man. He's new to the game. But I mean, imagine like, I mean, he wrestled prior to this, but Marion's schedule is so brutal that you're like, man, what's this kid doing? How come he keeps on losing? Well, look who he's wrestling. You know what I mean? Like we go to Detroit. We go to Detroit. The team that just won the Flavin. We're going to their school Thursday or Friday. You think that's going to be easy for Zane?
Yeah.
You know? No, man.
Right.
Yeah, the schedule is tough, and guys, but I mean, obviously, in that situation, a dual team, it you know, if you have the option to send a kid up or whatever, it helps with, you know, getting too bogged down. But yeah. Anyways,
we're still at 38. Lena's guy, say his name, Mark or Buddy Glass. Say his
Mauricio Glass. We call him Mario.
All right, Mario goes 7-0, and he bumped up to 44 for a couple of them. I don't see him beating anybody that is going to stand out, but
he had a good tournament for him.
Yeah.
He's, you know, and I look at their sectional. I mean, he might be able to make it down there to state. Actually, you know, that's a sectional. He might be able to squeeze his way into the state tournament. He's a good kid. Only been wrestling for a couple years. Really come a long way. He's putting in some good work.
Great. Yeah, I know a couple other guys on your team in the next weight class. If we want to bounce around, we're getting up there on time, so I really want to get to the team stuff. But
you want to burn through 44 quick or no? Because there's a Princeton kid who would fit into the Northern Illinois wrestling thing. Ace Christensen goes 9-0. He wrestles 44 and 50. Coal City, you know, bumped up to 44 as well. Charlie Whitmer, Warrensburg, 8-0. They didn't really wrestle anybody. I don't know how that sounds when I say that. Just
they didn't wrestle.
You can't say like they didn't wrestle anybody. You got to say, you know, he didn't have any key matchups technically. As far as because some of these results, like Cade Inman, he had a fall 52 seconds, a 20 to 5 tech fall, 17-2, 18-3. He had a 1 in 18-minute fall, but he also had an ultimate tiebreaker win over Edwards from Murfreesboro.
Yeah, Bryce.
So that's Edwards, a good. Yeah. So Cade Inman, 7-0 down there from Tolona Unity. So I mean, and some of these kids ain't coming from the top tier kids ain't really coming from the top teams that made the good gold brackets where they're wrestling the other top teams. So I think we put it in that aspect where, you know,
but like I say, when I say it that way, I sure don't mean it that way. I'm just looking at names that a win over a ranked kid. That's what I just keep on looking for.
Right. You know that's what I'm trying to say
so
too.
I don't mean it in a bad way. I just don't know how to word it. But yeah, I'll say, okay, so key matchups. So Harrison Bauer out of Lena, he wrestles 40 and 50. I talked to him a little bit down there, and I told him, I said, hey man, Buddy speaks highly of you. Like, let's have a good tournament, you know. And
he had a pretty good match with Edwards from Murfreesboro. It was a 10-6 decision loss. We were in some good scrambles on their feet.
So what is that score last year?
Last year, well, they didn't wrestle last year. But
no. Just do the wrestling math because you know how the match went. It's a closer match than 10-6.
Yeah. Yes. So I mean, this year the kid he's up 3 weight classes from last year, going 44.52, I guess. He's at 44, but yeah, we were in that match. That kid's 4th last year at state, I believe. So Harrison was a blood round loser. And he, like I say, another one of those kid who he's tough. He's a tough wrestler. So, and and after that loss, he's like, I'm looking forward to seeing him down at Litchfield. So he was the underdog. Edwards was favored in the match. We lose 10-6. We're in the match. We had a chance to win at the end. We get taken down. I guess, we got a chance to cut it closer, I guess. So we're down by 4. So no, I'm sorry. We're only down by 1. We're on our feet at the end, 7-6. And then we had a chance to win it. We'd lose the scramble at the end, and we lose 10-6. So good match. That's a real good match.
I don't see anything else at 44 that jumps out. So 50, like Ace Christensen, bounced between 40 and 50. Colton Cruz, I got a text about this kid and said, hey, man, you guys got to consider putting Colton Cruz in at 50. He's beat some.
He had a win over Harrison this year, 3-2.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I believe he went
9-0, but I don't see any key matchups per se.
Mm-hmm.
Vance Williams, Marion Central, 150. He goes undefeated. He goes 8-0.
Jackson Carroll went 7-0. He had a 16-6 win over Dylan Hinton from Vandalia.
Did Hinton and Williams get to wrestle?
No, we never. They didn't.
They bumped Hinton to 57 in that duel.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep.
And then we put maybe not the best choice at 65. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, that's a whole dual thing. I won't do that because then that's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So we didn't get to see that matchup, but
No.
all right.
As far as 57.
How about Lar? Was Brady Lar? How'd he do? Brady Lar.
Brady Lar went 8-0.
Okay.
He had a 5-2 win over Goosens. So Brady Lar beats Goosens 5-2.
So yeah, we'll have to fix that.
At 57?
At 57.
Yeah, so Lars going to go at Lars are on our list at 50 and Goosens is at 57. So Lar probably wrestled up but I mean that's good.
Yeah, Lar was going. He wrestled. He did have a match at 65. So if it's, I don't know what
he weighed in at 57 or 50, bro.
He weighed in at 57.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that's probably where he's going to be. Wasn't really no team aspect for him to be down. I don't think so.
Oh, I got one. Holden Brazelton. He goes 6-1. I know his only loss was to Vance. We had Holden Brazelton on our list.
7. Yeah, he's at 7.
Yeah.
I talked to his dad a little bit. Unity guy, super cool guy. Kids, tough as they come. Are we at 57 yet, or are we just kind of going too fast now?
Yeah, no. Go as quick as you
but
can.
I don't want to miss somebody at 50 and then.
Well,
we got to keep it to the kids, Jim, not the dad talk. You know.
All right, here we go. Blake Smith, dad's name's Heath Smith. Awesome. Blake Smith burns through everybody. Briar Ivy, 9-0. He didn't necessarily get any great matchups because of their team being sick, but he did wrestle Mark D. Wheeler from you, Brody. I don't know why I keep on saying Brody. How was that in real life? Because I'm looking at the score, but how was that in real life?
With Mark and Brody?
Yes.
It was I want to say only like a 3-point match going to the third, and then Brody opened up on his feet and just kept cut takedown. But we were in the match, honestly. We were holding him off our legs. We were in on his legs a couple times. Mark's wrestling a lot better.
That's kind of what I heard. I said the score doesn't tell the tale of the match, so I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, he got as soon as Brody found, like I say, the weakness on the feet. He, boom, cut takedown. We're gonna keep attacking that one spot. So.
I don't see nothing else jumping out at 57.
I got it. Just getting back. I'm reaching out to some of these guys. So that Lar, he's not, he's in between 50 and 57. So
Okay.
I'll only stop at one kid here. Our Crail Griffin, Chicago Hope, goes 9-0. And I did talk to our boy Roy Phelps quite a bit. It's kind of a funny story. I'll get to it when we get to him. Casey Etheridge, Princeton, 9-0. Riley Leaflet, Ottawa Marquette kid. He wrestled 65 the whole tournament. He went 8-0. Don't see any key matchups per se. Jump into 75 unless I missed something at 65 mark or
well, again, I think it's probably important to mention, or at least something to mention, but the Stasio is out and he's been out for the last couple weeks, so we haven't got to see him. We also found out that TS, Lyndon TS is the name.
Yep.
Not Thies, TS. So that's always positive.
He's certified at 65.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, that Archaea Griffin kid, he's gonna be a force to reckon with at 65. If he stays, I don't think he's going 57 at all. If he will be or not, I know he wrestled or he weighed in at 65, wrestled 65 and 75, but that kid's good.
Griffin.
Did you get to watch him in real life? I never did.
Yes, I watched him. He wrestled Menzendijk twice.
Oh.
He beat him. Oh, what was it? The first time he beat him by 5-3, and the second time was 11-7.
And Menzendijk's the one who had the close match with Kelly the other day, correct?
Correct. He's probably 6'2", tall, athletic, hard to get on his legs. He's jacking you up. He's getting you out of position. And he goes. He never shown any sign of weakness as far as wrestling. Chicago Hope.
Chicago Hope. So he's with Roy Phelps. So we wrestled them. Mark, do you remember him or not? Stewie.
65.
Or 75.
Well, here's the problem.
I want to say he was a placer last year at 57 or 50. I don't remember.
Yeah, he took the forfeit, I think, in the duel. Or he wrestled I can pull it up.
He either killed somebody or not literally, but killed our guy or got a forfeit. I don't remember. At 65 and 75.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, I know I'm pretty sure he wrestled though, but yeah. So all right, we got a guy to add to the list.
Well, I'm glad Buddy saw him wrestle too, because that's you know what I mean.
75.
I mean, 11-7 is still pretty close match too. So
175 in the last week in 1A has probably been there's been a lot of big matchups between Zamora beating Bowden Delaney 14-10 in the Unity Finals. Mm-hmm. Then you got Landon Benson, Tech Falls, Ryan Rink at the ABEs. At the ABEs.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one too.
Benson beat Zamora 11-3.
This weekend. Got it. So Benson had a big weekend.
There's a key matchup at 75 we have to talk about.
Zamora beat Rink as well.
Yeah.
I think he pinned him in the semis at Unity.
Got it. Well, Jim, what's that matchup? You tell us.
It's Eli Larson over Lyndon Tias, 12-5.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Walk us through that match, buddy. Did he cut him twice? Did he cut him 3 times?
Let's see here. He gave up a reversal. Theus is a Greco guy, and you could tell he wanted to get hooks. He wanted to get body locks. He wanted to go try and get Eli, who's already tall, up on his toes. So he did give up a reversal, but we did cut him a couple times. And Eli was able to get through as long as Tias is, and still get to his legs. So
isn't
Eli was smart too. He was finishing low. He got in the single legs. He kept his body low, kept his hips low. He's chasing up. He's cutting the corner, coming around the other side, chasing the leg. So Eli was real smart as far as that match too. So,
but isn't Eli also really tall?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Eli's. Yeah. So I mean, TS kid was still staying on his offense, trying to get him up on his toes, getting him up, So, but Eli knew it coming in, and Eli was also talking to every single opponent before he wrestled them. So, I mean, or afterwards, or he was talking to, he knows everybody.
Yep.
What they wrestled before, where they wrestled at, who they wrestled postseason. So,
But Tias is going 65 this year.
yeah, and I believe even after the match, he goes, "This is why I need to wrestle with 165."
Yeah.
So
No, that's cool. That's
mhm.
I just think that's kind of I know they're not in the same weight class, but I think that's just a good matchup for that. Those are two finalists, I think.
Yeah.
And they wrestled each other, Dave Drummond, which is why that's an important tournament to go to, right?
Yeah, 2 state medalists wrestling. So
Yeah.
Benson goes 8-0, and that's Ryan Rink, dude. The kid, he's good. I know he's really good. So Landon Benson, Coal City kid.
He looks really tough. Right? He's a 4A football guy that's committed to football too. So he's a full strong, but he's only like 5'9". He's not real tall. He's a shorter kid, but he is stocky.
Yep.
So
I saw him. They were coming in. The Coal City kids were coming to the bench when we were done wrestling Unity, I believe, and just kind of like shooting shit with the kids as they come through. And he's another one of them super polite, talkative kids.
mm-hmm.
They're all good kids, but standout great kid. And a major over Zamora is huge.
Mm-hmm.
A tech fall over Ryan Reed, a major over Zamora. That's a good
2 headlocks.
Weekend.
I watched that. 2 headlocks, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Who says
Zamara's upper body guy as well, and he kind of just tried getting some hooks and started really pushing in, hoping Benson would push back, and Benson just let it fly twice, headlocks. So that's how that match opened up, and Zamara was even like giving him the leg. Here, shoot on me, shoot on my leg, take my leg. It's like, I'm up. I'm not gonna shoot in your fucking leg.
Yeah.
And, he's like, I'm gonna play my match to win.
Bowden Delaney goes 6-0. He doesn't have any key matchups whatsoever. Bowden kind of had I even talked about it a little bit. It's like he just didn't see anybody.
He didn't get out of 1 minute and 5 seconds.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. I guess I didn't know if they were gonna bump him up to wrestle Jimmy or not, and they didn't. I guess that would have been the one match he could have wrestled that would have been maybe longer than a minute. You know what I mean? See what happens with them two. But
yeah, but Mark, I wanted to say, Mark, Jim's by the state tournament, Jim's gonna have a piece of article of clothing for each part. His socks.
He's got his Coal City socks on right now.
His shirt, a sweatshirt, maybe a hat.
Listen, I'm a 1A fan more than I knew I was.
Murfreesboro Red Devil tattoo on his right calf. He's gonna have a green Geneseo T-shirt underneath his Grateful Dead shirt, and then he's gonna have his Coal City socks.
I'm kind of jealous, though, to be honest.
Would it be over the? Would it be a little aggressive? I got a Tony Nelson tramp stamp tattoo signature. Would that be too much?
That might be a little too much.
Hey, hold on.
I like that. I listened to that podcast the other day, man. That was a good one. Like, that was probably, if you need a outline how a coach comes on there and does a podcast, that's it, man. Like, here, don't talk about me, talk about my team. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Right?
Dude, I'm going to make a call. I'm going to get you a Roxana hat. And I don't know if you know this, but I got access to a guy who may have some Richmond Burton gear. They got snow gloves this year for the team. I'm going to get you a pair. What's your hand size, XL?
It looks small in my hands, so double XL.
2XL gloves from Richmond Burton. Okay. I'm going to write that down.
190. Oliver McPeak, 9-0. Never has a match. He beats up everybody, doesn't he, buddy?
He pinned. Yep. Let's see here. I'm looking at it now.
Fall.
Pinned everybody. He had one tech fall. So Oliver McPeak pins Darnell from Quincy Notre Dame in 258. Darnell from Quincy Notre Dame pins Anderson from Oregon.
So wrestling math, he goes up, Anderson goes down.
But then Anderson beat McPeak.
Oh, really?
Anderson beat McPeak at Erie.
Okay, so early.
Oh, yeah.
Baby, make matchups.
Yeah, and I mean,
exactly. Styles make matchups. As we were trying to tell some of the kids earlier at the tournament you got at ABE's, like you're looking at teams like, okay, well, this team beat this team. We should beat this team, but it doesn't mean anything. Like look at these kids' matchups. Like, okay, the team, not necessarily the team matchups, but individual matchups as well.
Yeah.
Okay, this kid beat this kid, but he beat blah 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 blah. It doesn't matter until you wrestle that match. You have to wrestle this kid's match. You get to wrestle this kid.
Yeah, so I had a conversation today with four-time Big Ten champ Nathan Tomasello, and I was trying to ask him about his left leg lead and how he approached matches against certain guys and stuff like that. I think that is the hard part for people sometimes to understand. It's like you have to it's not that you have to adjust completely to somebody else's wrestling. You know, I think a lot of people's idea is like you're wrestling, you do your thing and then just be better than everybody, but you do have to be aware of how people like wrestle, like other opponents. You have to be aware of what positions that they like to be in, what positions that they're good in, right? Like you have to be honest with certain things so that you give quality opponents respect at what they're, you know, good at. So at least that's what I think.
Marcelo and Brett Metcalf both shot left-handed high crotches, and were so good at it they could shoot it to you. If you put your left leg back, they would shoot through your back leg. And it was just, I think it was wild. I don't know. Go back and watch it. I've done it. That's how I know it's true. This is what I'm saying is true. They both could literally shoot to your back leg, that left-handed high C, and get it still. It just for however they were able to do it.
Can't defend a spladle though. He's not too good at that.
Dude, you did not just shit on Nathan Tomasello on our podcast.
Oh, not Tomasello.
Who got spladled?
Brett Metcalf, Darian Caldwell.
Caldwell. Yeah, you know what? The sun shines on a blind dog's ass sometimes. Darian Caldwell was awesome, but I would rather be Brett Metcalf.
Well, here's what I mean, you know, when we're talking about, if we're talking about Brett Metcalf or any of these guys, it's not, I mean, we're not talking about Brett Metcalf. We're talking about Maddox Anderson and Oliver McPete and a couple of other guys that are just learning the sport. So I just think kids should start to pay attention to that. I mean, sometimes kids overthink that and they just stall or, you know, they avoid action and stuff, but it's not a silly idea to think about what people do.
And that's why I said, like in one of our other podcasts too, about how, you know, sometimes the technology and seeing like how kids' results can scare other kids rather than just going out, maybe watching them wrestle a couple times and then maybe trying to strategically approach a match rather than looking at the results. Oh man, he did good here. He did this there. You know, yeah, it's nice to know you really have a good kid or not, but I think that sometimes that can really hurt these young athletes. Psychologically.
Yeah.
Hey, pause me real fast. I'll just throw it out there, and you guys can talk about it as much as you want or as much as you don't. Marion had two kids weigh in at 190. French lost one match to a kid at 190. I don't see a whole bunch of other stuff at 190 that's gonna, you know, Oliver McPeak had a good tournament.
Henry Easton, Oliver McPeak.
Good Tidwell there too. I know they wrestled at 215, but he's at 190. The kid.
Oh, is it?
Caden Tidwell from Vandalia.
I didn't see him at 190 at all.
You saw him at 15.
Okay.
Their 215-pounder wrestled heavy a bunch, and then they bump Kidwell to 215. That's the one Jimmy Tech fought 24-3. He took fourth in the state last year at 190.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
Tidwell.
Jimmy hit a 7-point move up 14 points.
That's I was paying attention. I was actually there for his match this time, and I think the kid chose down or something, and Jimmy had some kind of weird Turk or whatever, and he told the ref, he goes, "Hey, I'm in control. These are back points." And the ref goes, "Oh, you're right," and started counting. So it's like a real calm exchange of conversation. I was like, man, you don't see that all the time, you know.
French lost to Connor Henson from West Frankfurt.
Yeah, that was our very first duel.
18-5 at 190.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Hang on one second.
Yeah. And we can get to, if you want to go 215 too.
Yeah. Tell me about how did Jeremiah Luke?
I gotta go. So I don't mean to cut it short. I gotta get going.
You're good,
guys. But
good to see you, Mark Stewart.
Good to see you as well, Dalton. Good to see you, buddy. Tell Jim good night.
Will do. See ya.
Jeremiah had a good tournament. He did suffer one loss. We bumped him up at heavyweight against Chicago Hope, and it probably shouldn't have happened. I think the duel was pretty much out of the reach by then. I mean, we needed a tech fall out of Jeremiah or a pin, and it was against Roy Phelps from Chicago Hope, who was a top wrestler. I mean, if we could have got the win from Menzendijk at 65 first, it would have been a different story where Jeremiah just needed to beat him. But Phelps was just, I remember Jeremiah tried doing one thing right away. He's like, this guy's big.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm a big, Roy Phelps is really good with that body lock slides over.
Yep.
You know?
And he even did an inside trip on Jeremiah.
Wow.
You know? And he's not that, Jeremiah did a really good elbow pass, and the kid just kind of two-stepped away from it. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, at 285, Roy Phelps is I want him to win, dude.
Okay, I saw Roy. Are we at 215 or heavyweight?
Yeah, we're at
215.
215. But we bumped Jeremiah up to wrestle Roy Phelps.
How'd it go? I didn't even know. I didn't know that.
He lost 11-5.
Jeremiah lost 11-5. He gave up a takedown at the end, but it wasn't. We did it for the team aspect, hoping to get the win. We had our 26-pounder who won. They put somebody else out there. We losing that one, so there's already the big swing in the match right there. Menzendijk didn't win. We needed him to win, but we still kept the lineup up. We threw in Aiden Larson in at 190. He pins the kid, freshman. But anyway, back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah also had a major decision win over Talon Scott. He was a ranked opponent. And let's see here. He had a tech fall, 17-1. A pin against Murfreesboro, 535. 35-second pin, Lawrenceville, and another tech fall against Roxana, 17-1. So he had another good tournament, another major decision win over another ranked opponent. I think Madman had Jeremiah at 7, that kid at 8, something like that. So Jeremiah, he's already, messaging me and Logan, hey, let's work this week. Suffer a loss, want to get better.
Yeah, that's good.
That mindset. So, and that was a lot to ask for him too, to get a pin or a tech fall against the opponent who is a full 285 and a solid wrestler as well. So, let's see here. Who else? Hunter Easton went 8-1, 192-15. Frenchie went 8-1. Russ Brown Monticello went 8-1. Keller Stocks from Mount Zion, he went 8-1. His only loss was to French, 15-9. I believe Stocks was a returning state qualifier as well.
Just watching. Obviously, I watched the Marion duels. Just watching. Neither French or Jimmy look real big at 190, and then when obviously one of them bumped up to 215, it's like, damn. Some of these 215 kids are
big
good.
Kids.
Yeah. And like just going back to Jeremiah, the Quincy kid, he's a very stout, athletic kid. He took a couple shots on Jeremiah, and he's just like, we're going to back off this for a little bit, Because Jeremiah's starting to fill up the 215 weight bracket. Go ahead.
There's a kid named Chunk, and he's a heavyweight. And he went 9-0. We're going to have to talk about him because...
Yeah, we can bump up to heavyweight.
Where's he from?
He's from Beardstown.
Okay.
If your name's Chunk and you're a heavyweight, you're awesome. You know what I mean?
His last name?
No, his first name is Chunk. His last name's Daly. God, I hope his name ain't Chuck and Jack Rapping screwed this up.
Connor Williams from Canton had a good. He went 9-0, and he had a 1-0 decision over Phelps from Chicago Hope. Not a lot of action there. 1-0, typical heavyweight match, but
yeah, it's Daily Chunk. Yeah, Chunk Daily.
I love it.
The only bad thing is when you click on the individual athlete in the Abe's Rumble, you can't see their matches. I don't know if I can see
So
there.
here, Phelps took one loss, and it was a 1-0 loss, right, buddy? That's what we're.
Yeah, that's the Canton
Okay.
Williams from Canton. Tate Sigler from Leroy went 9-0.
Our Buckets, our guy, his real name's Caleb Ekman. He went 9-0, I believe.
I thought so too. Ian Morris from Princeton, he went 9-0. Returning medalist. Don't know if I see any common matchups.
Jeremy Gagnon went 9-0, and he wrestled 3 times. He had 6 forfeits. That's excessive, right, man? Or I'm sorry, he had 5 forfeits. But that's just, remember, I think I brought him up. I said, hey, who's Gagnon? And then we looked him up. But, man, that's a lot of I know you see forfeits at heavyweight here and there, but, man, that's.
Yep, Caleb Epping went 9-0. Oh, so I'm sorry. Kate Odell from Princeton went 4-0. I'm sorry. Odell was the returning medalist from Princeton. Who did I see a second ago? Ian Morris. Ian Morris is, I'm sorry, 215. He had a heavyweight match. Sorry, Ian Morris went 9-0 from Princeton. 215 pounder.
What happened to Mark? He boogied when I was gone?
Yeah, he couldn't survive. It's too much for him. He had to go somewhere.
It's not for everybody.
It isn't, you know. It's a tough gig. Got to be. So, do they not? I mean, yeah, this is off topic. So, I wonder how long it's going to take, or if they even will. The matches from Abe's, will they go into the individual track profile? Because right now, none of the matches from Abe's are in the wrestler's profile.
See, I don't know how that works because I think that it just says Abe's and then it does like the tournament. It doesn't show anything else.
Yeah. Either way.
Yep.
I mean, they'll have to. It has to get in there somehow because it's
for the key. It should be under their key matchup results if they had anybody good.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
I thought it was on there because I just today when I'm the only guy that doesn't have Google when I go to the big building, and Jimmy's asking me to look up his track profile for match count. Everybody has a working phone but me. And when I pulled up his track account, I swear that Abe's Rumble was in there.
So I'm looking at Chunk Daily, and the last thing is right here. It doesn't. Now I don't know is this inside Abe's right here? When was it must be, right? Yeah, it must be.
That's all Abe's, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he was undefeated. Your boy Chunk Daily. Jim.
I like it, man. We got to get him on. We're gonna have to get him on the list.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got a loss to Shelbyville, Andre Townsend, and Connor Williams from Canton, Seneca. If
I pull up, Abe's Rumble is on profile, buddy.
Okay, that's what it is.
So give me here Jeremiah Luke, track wrestling, and Abe's Rumble's on there. Yep.
Yeah. When I looked the last time, I didn't make it didn't say Abe's Rumble, so I wasn't paying attention. I think.
Mhm.
So.
I got you.
But yeah, it's all there now. So now we can go back and look at all the matchups and stuff. So all is good. Well, cool. All right. Anything else on heavyweight and any other thoughts? I mean, we could jump in real quick. I mean, we obviously see the top 4 results and just to say the final team results. Vandalia got first, Marion Central second, Coal City third, Tolono Unity fourth, Oregon 5th, Murfreesboro 6th, Leroy 7th, Oakwood 8th, Chicago Hope 9th, Lena Winslow 10th, Roxana 11th, Olympia 12th, Petersburg Porta 13th, Newman Central Catholic 14th, Reed Custer 15th, and Auburn 16th. So I did think that I wish the wrestlebacks aspect of the team were a little bit more true. Obviously, they're not
For
they
sure.
don't force everybody to wrestle each other even, throughout the wrestleback.
You can't for match count either.
Yeah.
You're looking at, if you did a true 16 team bracket there and the final 16 gold, if you want to do a true wrestleback for even for fifth, you're adding a lot of matches in that day.
Yeah.
I mean,
9 more or potentially.
Yeah. I mean, if you do the, so 16 team bracket, that's a 16 team, bracket. Yeah. Cause I mean, look at we lost to Murfreesboro, 39-32. Our freshman 6-pounder had a major, a kid came off wrestling Thanksgiving week. He's only been wrestling since Thanksgiving. We're making small steps with him. That's what you should do for a first year wrestler, right? And he had a major locked up. They were battling on their feet. He got down on his knees. They're scrambling. His hands come above his head. What happens when that happens on your knees? You get pushed to your back and gets pinned. That's a 10-point swing. We lose by 7. But you can't put the weight on that match, that big of a tense match, in that aspect of the tournament, on a freshman who has probably a total of 14 practices. If Harrison Bauer wins that match, different story. If we get a couple pins instead of Tech Falls, that's a different story. So there's a lot of different aspects in that match too. But then, is this a true state tournament aspect? A lot of guys kind of symbolize this as the state tournament. But we beat Oregon earlier in the year.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Like wrestling match. Wrestling match shows Murfreesboro over Lena, but Oregon over Murfreesboro, but Lena beats Oregon.
Right. So I mean, that's just we could beat Leroy. We can probably beat Oakwood. So I mean, it in a sense that kind of sucks that you can't come back to wrestle for a true third or I mean, a true fifth. But I mean, that's just the way that tournament is down there, and it's a great tournament.
Yeah.
The aspect of the tournament is great, and we walked out of there with a 10th place finish. Hope come back and beat us. But
the way that the finals are set up, so you got to look at it as so Vandalia beats Coal City, so the Coal City guys kind of got screwed by having Vandalia on their side. If Coal City beats Vandalia kind of gets screwed because they had Coal City on their side. Where we had Tolono on our side, which was on paper not going to be close.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then Coal City. Well, what aspect do you want?
I don't know. I mean, was Marion?
There's not going to be a good way you put that. You put Coal City up.
I don't know. That's it.
Down. How do you? And that's just a on paper ranking as well.
Yeah.
That's how they got that one. So okay, so if you put Coal City up top, Unity 4, and you put Marion 2, you're still going to get one of those guys, Vandalia or Coal City, most likely down there.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were talking on the way home too, about Marion could possibly be 2A next year because of being the 2-time battles from a team getting bumped to 2A.
I think they're 2A regardless, because here's the deal: say Richmond's a really, really good tournament team.
Mm-hmm.
You don't be a good tournament on that day just to get them the hell out of there. That makes sense.
Yes. Right. Yeah, I understand that. But Marion's still going to qualify for state. But what I'm saying is the state tournament, those 8 teams, they take the 2 sectionals winners or, from this sectional outside the bracket. But the other part of those is draws.
Yeah.
The year we went down there in 2012, our first year down there, Leroy and Wilmington met in the round of 8, and that should have been the state finals championship. In 2017, when we were down there, Montini and OPRF wrestled first round in the round of 8. There's a very good chance that, I mean, there's 8 teams, Marion's 1, Coal City's 2, and Vandalia's 3. There's 3 teams out of the 8. So 2 out of the other 7 teams, there's a chance that 2 out of the other 7 teams, you could draw them first round.
Right.
Vandalia or Coal City, and that could be the state championship match first round. There's just a chance that could happen.
Yeah.
And honestly,
well,
a 2-7 chance. That's what? That's a one almost a 25% chance.
Yeah. Well, when I look at this and what I kind of take from it is, the brackets it's a tournament. So you just run the brackets the way that they run, right? And you feed it out, and this is how it is. But like Marion Central should have a duel with Coal City. And
Yeah.
like I'm not a big, team guy like with the team state stuff. Like I think at some point it's kind of like just forcing some of the spectacle. I was in the state tournament before. I coached at Montini. We won a state title when I was there. Like I know what it's like. I'm not really like I think a duel benefits, like these guys should duel throughout the year. I mean, right now you're it looks like Lena, Oregon, and you guys are sitting somewhere in the top, 7, right?
Mhm.
Somewhere
Yeah.
around there.
Yeah.
And you guys duel, and it was a great duel to watch, and it was a great duel to broadcast and stuff. So some of this stuff, I think, why isn't Marion Central and Coal City just dueling each other? Why isn't Vandalia and Coal City dueling each other throughout the year? I mean, these events could be huge for the schools to go back and forth. I mean, have a state championship duel at your place. Why not?
I was talking to the Coal City guy, and been around the game, I think, for a long time, and he was telling me they do they have a traditional duel in the theater where the kids wrestle on the stage. It's Oakwood. They wrestle Oakwood, Finithan every year, and I mean they win every year because I think they're just numbers game. But he said it's awesome. He says that they have this tradition where they wrestle in the theater. The kids go up on the stage. They have a spotlight. They have a walkout song and everything. I'm thinking, man, wouldn't that be cool if it was if you didn't know if you're going to win that duel? That would really make it neat. Do something a little more. I mean, tradition's tradition, but man, tradition's dangerous too, right? Because that's.
Well, I just wish these guys would get together. I mean,
I
not
agree.
wait to the
totally
state
agree.
tournament.
Yeah.
Showcase duels.
And
I'm a big fan of showcase duels. 1-on-1, have an event, broadcast it, get the fans out, don't go till 10 o'clock, but make the experience a fun experience. So
I'm a big fan of when it's all said and done. You build I mean, I know that they kind of do this in the IKWF stuff. They kind of do this in the IESA stuff. Or like IK what were those called, buddy? Remember IK Gold, IK Silver?
Yep.
Imagine taking all your 1A state champs or your 1A runner-ups, whatever it might be, and dueling all your 2A runner-ups for state champs or your 3A. I think that would be so cool to do, man.
We were kind of talking about that a little bit ago. They did like a north-south. They used like a north-south duel, like I-80 north-south duel. I got invited to that my senior year. I beat a kid from Oregon who was probably favored to beat me, honestly. Back in the 3rd and 4th place match, we win 3rd to go to state, and I beat him in the 3rd and 4th place match. I went on to get 2nd, and I had to wrestle him again, the I-80 north-south duel. And he didn't forget about that match. And I already had my state medal, put it that way. He kicked my ass down there at that point. But, it'd be cool. It is cool. But then after a season, if you don't get the guys that are taking it seriously too, you're not going to get the good matchups. Like you don't have like in season for your team.
Yeah.
I mean, I should say not the good matchup. Not going to have maybe not the heart or the, into it.
No, I get it. Fair enough. Like you got your 215 state champ in 3A this year is going to be Kai Calcutt. The red day wrestling's over. Kai Calcutt's got football cleats on and he's back. He's back too. So you might not get it.
Correct.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And not kind of back to the Apes tournament too. It was a 32 team championship bracket, and there was some matchups. The guys the teams that didn't make it out of that round of 32 that went back in the 16 team silver bracket. Morrison lost to Canton for the 1st place in that bracket, and Princeton got 3rd. So 2 teams that, there's Northern Illinois, they're up in here in our area, our sectional, can't talk about too. They had some really good matches. Princeton almost beat Canton 36-33. Morrison walked to the finals in that area and had a 51-23 with Canton. But you know, those
Hey,
are also.
speaking of Princeton, we did hang out with the Princeton guys in the lobby a little bit, and
Mhm.
if this pizza wasn't cold, it would have been good. We had cold, shitty pizza together, and it was still pretty decent. But a bunch of Prince guys, super cool. They're pumped about the pit tournament coming up.
Mhm.
I think I am
I
too.
talked to
Right?
Coach Amy. I talked to Coach Amy too. I believe he's all game about coming on and talking too. So, he's all about it. He's all about wrestling, growing it and everything. So, but no, those two teams also, they say Princeton and Morrison, if they would have, you know, drew somebody a little better, maybe a little, you know, different competition in the first round. I don't remember who they had exactly. Morrison had Murfreesboro. You know, there's a couple matches I talked to them that didn't go their way. Again, you know, they're winning loss type deal.
Yeah.
That puts them in the top 16 bracket instead of getting, well, they still get 17th then technically, right? Or 18th getting second. So still they're walking away with 18th and 19th of a 60 team tournament. So
yeah, I think Abe is fine. I mean, I'll miss it next year because I don't think we're there. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it's a cool tournament, man. I don't know. I don't understand how. If I was a hotel manager, I'd be better than the hotel managers they have. You know what I mean? Like you can't have something like a food or a bar and grill open at 4:00 when everybody wants to eat at 10, noon, 2, 4, 6, 8. You know what I mean? You're only getting the 4, 6, 8 guys now. Like they know it's coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand how they can't do that. And then there's these two girls working the bar at the hotel we were at, and they're running food and they're working. It's like you just feel bad for them because they're the only two there, and you get to talking to them a little bit here when there's downtime. And it's like, yeah, nobody wants to work. They can't get anybody. They will get somebody. They just can't find anybody. And it's like that's crazy, you know. So I asked for an application. I did get an application. They sent me to the front desk, and that's as far as I went. It was electronic. I'm like, dude, I'll work down here once a year. I thought it was gonna be paper and a pencil.
Yeah.
They're like, log into this. I'm like, oh,
that's what they get me too. All that crap. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder how busy they are. They have to have events constantly, I would imagine.
They do because they have posters in the bathroom.
Yeah, they do, but I don't know this. Like talking to Coach Grimm, Auburn coach that puts this on, they sell out. The two hotels sell out for this event. It said this is one of their biggest events, just by the numbers of people down there. Because every team pretty much stays between the two hotels. There's a tower hotel next to it. A lot of teams stay there. And then there's a hotel that actually connects to this arena. There's a little tunnel underground that comes up right next to weigh-ins and everything. So there's.
Oh, you can get there without walking outside.
Yeah, and it's
I
just
didn't know that.
It's just as quick walking outside, but yeah.
Okay. Last year we stayed at the Connected one. This year we stayed at the Tower one.
Mm-hmm. So I know he said that, but just with the schools, you know, the amount of wrestlers, parents, fans, and everything, they sold out the two hotels. The two hotels were sold out. That's like one of the biggest events that place holds. So that's when there was some riffraff the first night, and Coach Grimm gave him, like, he told security, he's like, he gave him the green light. You see anything bad, get him out of here, kick him out. Like, we don't want it here. Like, we're trying to keep the best men's with this arena, with these hotels, because it's a great event, and two, they want us here, you know. So we got to stay on the best, you know, just kind of put their foot down. Hey, you guys want to fuck around? You're gonna find out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Define riffraff, buddy, because I'm slightly offended here.
yeah. Well, Jim might have been on the list.
Yeah, well, we didn't break anything. I've been described as riffraff, whatever, but we didn't break anything or destroy a weight room or nothing like that, like these guys did. You know, where took buckets of ice and rammed down the hallway. Like, come on, guys, like that's nothing. You know, being riffraff, like having some drinks and bullshit with people, and you know, being a little rougher around the edges, that's a different story.
That's 1A culture, man, and it's awesome.
Absolutely.
I think, you know what I mean? I think it is great. It was great. Yeah. I love that tournament. I miss that tournament already. Right? Mm-hmm. Now next year I'll have to wear a collared shirt wherever we go.
Feel bad for you, really.
Maybe I'll just ride down with you, buddy.
I'll be there.
Might have to go for the fun of it. It's a great tournament. Yes. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it off there. Yeah, great recap. Thanks for doing it.
No doubt.
You bet.